Jianan saw, the killing intent of this spear is boundless, terrifying to the extreme. It seems unlikely to capture him with force. Jianan whispered to Gu Chang'e, I am the princess of the Absolute Sound Royal Court, Jianan. Can we make a deal? Gu Chang'e was surprised. Oh. She continued, in our clan, we will soon need to use the reincarnation divine art to create the reincarnation stage. And only you can do that. The Absolute Sound Royal Court can grant you one wish, even if it's to destroy the Taoist sect. Gu Chang'e thought, so it's the eldest princess, truly a big fish. Destroying the external Taoist lineage. Such big words. Then he responded. To Jianan, it's interesting, but how can I believe you without evidence? Shouldn't the eldest princess give me some benefits first? Jianan took a step closer and asked, what do you want? Gu Chang'e said, Absolute Sound Essence, how much of it do you have? She asked in surprise, Absolute Sound Essence. Jianan continued, you're really strange. Usually, cultivators from the outside world avoid the Absolute Sound Essence, afraid it will devour them. The Absolute Sound Essence is rare even in my hands, but if you want it, take it. But don't let it devour you, no problems before the trade. Gu Chang'e responded, all right, as for other matters, you don't need to trouble the eldest princess. He thought, this dead luck is indeed not bad, the first time enjoying the treatment of the protagonist. Jianan handed the spatial artifact to Gu Chang'e and said, this is a spatial artifact. Once my clan finishes creating the reincarnation stage, I will notify you with this. Chang'e took the item from Jianan and carefully examined it, saying, indeed, it's a messenger item forged from void beast bones. Suddenly, he sensed something was off. He thought, why is there still a trick? Want to conveniently track me? Chang'e turned to leave, since that's the case, I have things to do, I'll take my leave. Jianan said, all right, take care. Then, Jianan returned, and as soon as she landed, she was warmly greeted by a junior disciple, Your Majesty, you're back. Jianan only responded with a She walked over and reminded the junior disciple, remember, that human man just now is a distinguished guest of our clan. If you see him again, don't provoke him. The junior disciple obediently answered, yes, I understand, Your Majesty. Suddenly, Jianan noticed something. She thought, he was able to detect the trace of my soul left on the spatial artifact. And even sealed it. Although this person is only in the Great Sage realm, his methods are on par with the Supreme realm. After Gu Chang'e returned from the spatial rift, Jiang Suo rushed over to ask, Gu Chang'e, are you alright? Seeing Gu Chang'e's pale face, Suo asked worriedly, what's wrong with you? Gu Chang'e remained expressionless. He stood up, grabbed Jiang Suo's arm, and then held her waist, saying, the saintess actually cares about a devil, truly something to be proud of. Suo shyly stammered, I'm not, don't say that. Chang'e leaned in closer to Suo and said, Suo, I've already dealt with the absolute sound disaster here. Don't you have anything to say? Suo shyly turned her face away and stammered, what do you want to say? Thank you. Chang'e smiled, I went through so much effort to deal with the disaster, and now you want to drive me away with a single. Thank you. Want to get something for nothing? Jiang Suo felt embarrassed, then what do you want? Chang'e shushed her. Suo immediately closed her eyes after hearing that. Suddenly, she felt an unusual silence and felt confused. When she opened her eyes, she found that no one was around. Gu Chang'e soared into the sky and laughed loudly, you don't really expect me to do anything, do you? Suo became angry. You. Chang'e continued, I'm leaving, I still need to go back to the Xuanwu ancient kingdom to heal my wounds. Suo tightly clenched her hands and reminded herself, Jiang Suo, he's a devil, don't fall deeper. A few days later, after Gu Chang'e returned to the Xuanwu ancient kingdom, two elders came to greet him, young friend Chang'e, how are your injuries? Gu Xianer also quickly ran over and called, Gu Chang'e. Chang'e politely responded, thank you, two elders, for your concern. Xianer hurriedly ran over, grabbed Changa's hand, and looked, I heard you were seriously injured in the Qinglong ancient kingdom. How are you now? It's all because I casually agreed to help. Gu Changa teased, your brother is already dead, and now standing in front of you is a puppet. Sienna helplessly sighed and angrily said, this is how you are. The elder of the true immortal library laughed heartily, as expected of young friend Changa, your injury, involving the origin, has almost completely healed in such a short time. Changa humbly replied, it's just luck. Qin Feng immediately knelt and apologized, young Master Changa, I'm truly sorry. If it weren't for Xiao Yi's matter, you wouldn't have had to fight against the inheritor of the demonic arts. The Empress stood behind, hesitating, Qin Feng. Changa quickly knelt and helped Qin Feng up, saying, how can a young person say such things? I've always followed the righteous path. And would never be complicit with the inheritor of demonic arts. You don't need to worry about it. Qin Feng hesitated, but Changa frowned. Unfortunately, this encounter didn't lead to finding Xiao Yi, which makes me feel somewhat ashamed. Elder Yuan sighed, young friend Changa, there's no need to rush. The inheritor of the demonic arts is a great enemy to the world, and it's not something that can be resolved quickly. Changa turned to ask the two elders, has the library received any news about the inheritor of the demonic arts so far? The elder of the true immortal library stroked his beard and sighed, no news at the moment. Right now, Tianhuang Mountain and Foshan's are fighting, and the library is trying its best to mediate, too busy to focus on other matters. Elder Yuan added, that's right, Jin Qianzi was indeed suspicious at the time. No wonder Tianhuang Mountain didn't let him go. But the situation has developed unexpectedly. Changa was shocked, what? They're still fighting? Gu Xian'er crossed her arms and said, isn't it because of someone else's words? Now there are rumors outside that Jin Qianzi pretended to be noble and indirectly caused the fall of the divine emperor's son. Changa sighed loudly, what nonsense. Although I criticized brother Jin Qianzi's actions, no one is perfect. He might have had other difficulties at that time. Changa turned and said loudly, the urgent matter now is to find the inheritor of the demonic arts, eliminate him, and simultaneously rescue Xiao Yi. The only clue now is the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. Changa stroked his chin and thought, but after resting in the Black Turtle Ancient Kingdom for so many days, there has been no news of the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. Someone must have hidden him. Qin Feng sighed, it must be the Purple Mansion. Qin Feng squinted and smiled, the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch is their future. What can someone like me, an unknown, and my little junior sister with extraordinary talent do? So what if the library values us? We're just fish on the chopping block, waiting to be slaughtered. The two elders couldn't help but cough a few times after hearing Qin Feng's words. In an ancient reception room, Changa said to Xian, I've heard of Saintess Xian's great reputation for a long time, and today, in person, you are indeed beautiful and captivating. Xian humbly replied, young Master Changa overpraises me. You are the true talent, and it's my blessing in 3 lifetimes to be invited by you. What can I help you with, young Master Changa? Changa smiled and said, guess, Saintess. Xian answered, I've heard various rumors lately. I know you're searching for the whereabouts of the Purple Sun, but in fact, the Purple Mansion doesn't know where he is either. Changa looked at Xian and said, if I, Gu, wanted to find him, there are countless ways to do so. There's no need to trouble Saintess Xian. The collusion between the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch and the inheritor of the demonic arts is already an undeniable fact. I don't believe the Purple Mansion would truly allow this, it would be digging their own grave. Xian was astonished, digging their own grave. Changa continued, when Shang Chang exposed his identity, Tianhuang Mountain expressed their anger because of public opinion and eventually calmed the fury. Doesn't the Purple Mansion understand the seriousness of the situation? Xian closed her eyes, showing helplessness, but I am only a saintess, and my insignificant words do not have the power to decide. The policies of the Purple Mansion. If young Master Chang'e could point out a way, I would certainly explain the pros and cons. Chang'e said, no need to trouble yourself. If Saintess Xian truly cares about the future of the Purple Mansion, then stay here. Xian was stunned upon hearing this, and she blurted out, what? Chang'e calmly said, Saintess need not worry. I am an upright person, and I'm sure you've heard of it. Just claim that you were placed under house arrest by me. Xian was puzzled. House arrest? What do you mean? Chang'e looked at Xian sideways, smiling, don't worry, Saintess. You'll understand soon. He thought to himself, of course, I'll use you to lure the fish. Xian was confused, thinking to herself, does he know that there's been internal conflict in the Purple Mansion because of this matter? Is he trying to use me to pressure the Purple Mansion? Oh well, I'll just watch for now. After all, he doesn't dare to do anything to me. As the sunset cast its glow, people gathered and discussed, big news. Chang'e has captured the Saintess of the Purple Mansion, and even some Purple Mansion cultivators. In Black Turtle City, another person said, is this true? What does he want to do? Another person responded, it seems young Master Chang'e is willing to pay any price to find the whereabouts of the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. The King of Six Passes commented, is this the plan of Chang'e? Too immature. A red-haired person asked in confusion, Lord King of Six Passes, do you mean? A purple-haired person added, isn't Chang'e's action wrong? The King of Six Passes laughed, I want you to think more. The Purple Mansion's influence is not small. Even if Chang'e captures that woman, he doesn't dare to do anything to her. In short, it's just a threat. As for the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, although not as strong as me, he is still an extraordinary genius. If he can break through and stand firm again, he will surely achieve greater accomplishments. He explained, the Purple Mansion still has great ambitions and plans to expand, and the Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch is their hope. Therefore, unless they take decisive action, the Purple Mansion won't easily let him go. So, Chang'e acted too hastily without seeing this point. Remember, when doing things, one must not only be brave but also think carefully. The three of them agreed, and everyone expressed admiration. Indeed, it is Lord King of the Six Halls. At another location, a goose said to Yingyu, Your Highness, now both princes. You need to calm down. Yingyu sighed. She looked up at the sky and said, the late gentleman sent a message saying that Lord Xiang, in collaboration with those inheritors of demonic powers, framed the Divine Prince, and the Purple Mansion sheltered Lord Xiang, deliberately opposing the Heavenly Emperor Mountain. This cannot be tolerated. At that moment, in the sky, Gu Xianer was flying swiftly on the large Qing. She coldly crossed her arms and said, it's all my incompetence. I couldn't protect Xiao Yi well. I also want to find Lord Xiang by my own strength. I can't always rely on that guy. Suddenly, the Qing said something to Xianer. She widened her eyes. Is there a treasure? She said, the Qing, it's not that I'm saying you, but you have to prioritize the important matters. Now is not the time to search for treasures. The clue to Lord Xiang hasn't appeared yet, how can I focus on finding treasures? Before Xianer could finish, the Qing continued to speak to her. After listening, Xianer immediately instructed the Qing to return quickly. She was astonished. What? Essence seeds? Why didn't you say so earlier? Hurry, it's extremely rare. Xianer, riding the Qing, laughed triumphantly, it's all mine. Below, Teng Wunai had already seen everything. And secretly thought, this lively personality is indeed a bit different from junior sister. Wunai looked at the reincarnation lake water bottle in his hand and thought, now is not the right time. If I make her drink the reincarnation lake water, it could cause many things to happen. Let me help Senior Brother Xiang solve his trouble first, and then we can meet. Then the four of us can reunite. At dusk in the Purple Mansion, a panicked voice sounded, Humph, this young person is truly irritating. The sect leader of the Purple Mansion, Lu Ming, angrily said, "What does it have to do with me if the elders shelter Xiang? Not only did they imprison my daughter, but they also dared to say my happiness is in their hands. How audacious. Does he think he's the young master of the Gu family, and I can't deal with him?" His wife said, "Why get so angry, my lord? The imprisonment is just for show. Xian is clever and won't come to harm. As for the happiness issue, if we do end up with a grandson, won't the one suffering be him?" Lu Ming nodded. My wife makes a good point. Anyway, that boy is the future leader of the Gu family, and that girl from the peerless immortal dynasty doesn't seem to be married yet. If Xian marries him first, that girl will. At an ancient ruin, Xiang saw Ting Wunai land and immediately ran over shouting, "Senior brother, I've finally been waiting for you." Wunai asked in confusion, "Ah Yang, what exactly happened?" "I heard you and the inheritors of demonic powers." Xiang frowned and said, "Senior brother, this matter. I was framed. Please listen to my explanation." After an explanation, Wunai finally understood the situation. "I see, I didn't expect things to develop like this." Xiang pleaded, "Senior brother, you must help me. I really have no way out." Wunai looked at Xiang and said, "This matter is completely a complex matter of destiny. But I'm still a bit confused. Why are there two inheritors of demonic powers, and why can someone use your red gate purple chi?" Xiang rubbed his forehead. "I don't know either, but I've used the heavenly eye to see through it. Although the details are unclear, but," he said firmly, "this matter must have something to do with Gu Changa." Wunai was puzzled. Gu Changa? But how did he do it? Xiang grabbed his head, angrily shouting, "That guy is ruthless, like a poisonous snake. Hiding underground, only ghosts know how he does it. The urgent matter now is to restore my reputation, or there will be no way to explain it." Xiang stood up and said, "Today, because Xian was captured, the internal discord in the Purple Mansion has worsened, and many elders are beginning to lean towards the Changjiao. More importantly, Xian's future partner was originally arranged by the Purple Mansion for me, but now it's all in chaos, so." Wunai stood up, "So you want me to help you rescue her, right?" Xiang looked at Wunai and said, "That's right, with my strength, I really can't save her in front of Gu Changa." Wunai patted Xiang's shoulder, saying firmly, "I understand. This is the only way to resolve this situation. We can't let the Purple Mansion be controlled by him. Leave it to me." Xiang's eyes filled with tears after hearing this. He immediately hugged Wunai, deeply grateful, "Senior brother, now only you can help me. I really feel so helpless." Wunai simply responded with a light, A voice came from another room, "I lost again." Ziyan's face was covered in paint, and she said with grievance, "Young master, can't you give us a little leeway?" Gu Changa smiled faintly, Ching, isn't it enough that I gave in?" Song Ching helplessly replied. "Young master, can I not answer?" Ziyan angrily said, "Continue, I don't believe I will keep losing." Changa stood up, "Forget it, you can't win anyway." Ziyan angrily interrupted, "Where did that come from?" Changa continued, "Forget it, there's no more space on your face to paint, if we keep going, I'll have to paint on your body." Upon hearing this, Ziyan's face turned red and hot. She asked Changa, also, "Young master, you've been looking at the door, is something going on?" He thought for a moment and said, "I suddenly feel uneasy, looks like there will be some turmoil these days." Ziyan, the saintess, should be careful. Ziyan asked in confusion, "Me?" Gu Changa suggested, "Why don't you come stay with me for the next few days?" Ziyan, startled, replied, I won't have children for you." Changa turned to look at her, does the saintess Ziyan think about that every day? He thought deeply, "What I mean is, you should move into my house, in case anything happens, I can take care of you." Ziyan suddenly understood, You mean?" She looked at Changa and asked, "Will I be in danger?" Changa explained, "If I were the Purple Sun Heavenly Lord, the first thing I would do is send someone to kill you. After all, once you're dead, the purple mansion has no other options.